Most people want to be rich, but don't realize the secret is knowing the difference between assets and liabilities. They hear these words in finance, but never get a simple explanation. What if I told you one builds your wealth while the other silently drains it? Imagine treating something that takes money from you as if it makes you rich. Today we'll clear this confusion in the simplest way possible. Money mistakes often come from misunderstanding these two words. People buy things thinking they're building wealth when they're actually adding financial stress. This is why even high-income earners can end up broke. The key is not how much you make, but how much you keep. And what you keep depends on whether it's an asset or liability. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. It can generate income or grow in value over time. Assets don't just look good on paper. They work for you daily. Think of them as financial soldiers fighting to make you richer. The more assets you own, the stronger your financial army becomes. A liability is the opposite. It takes money out of your pocket. It may look impressive, but it demands constant payments. Liabilities drain your resources, sometimes without you even noticing. They keep you working harder just to stay afloat. The more liabilities you collect, the heavier your financial burden gets. Let's say you buy a brand new car. Most people think of it as an asset because they own it. But the truth is, unless that car makes you money, it's a liability. It loses value over time and costs you fuel, insurance, and repairs. Instead of putting money in, it constantly pulls money out. Now imagine using the same car for a rideshare business. Suddenly it generates income that covers its costs and leaves profit. That flips it from liability to asset. The car now works for you instead of against you. The difference lies in how you use it. Many people call their home their biggest asset, but is it really? If you live in it and keep paying mortgage, taxes, and maintenance, it's a liability. It doesn't generate money, it drains it. Only when it produces rental income does it act like a true asset. A rental property is a classic example of an asset. You may have a mortgage, but tenants pay it for you. Over time, the value of the property grows while your loan decreases. You build equity without spending extra from your pocket. That's how real estate turns into a wealth-building machine. The main reason people confuse assets and liabilities is emotional attachment. A shiny car or a big house feels like wealth, but feelings don't pay the bills. Numbers do. And numbers show whether money flows in or out. Here's a simple test. Ask yourself, does this item put cash in my pocket every month? If yes, it's an asset. If no, it's a liability. That single question can change the way you view everything you own. Debt itself isn't always the enemy. If you borrow money to buy assets that generate more income than the debt costs, it's good debt. But if you borrow for things that only drain your pocket, it's bad debt. Most credit card debt falls into this trap. The smartest people use debt carefully to build more assets. Often, lifestyle pushes us toward liabilities. The pressure to keep up with friends makes people buy luxury cars, gadgets, or bigger homes. But none of these improve their financial future. They just look impressive on Instagram. True wealth comes from assets, not appearances. Some liabilities disguise themselves as necessities. Subscriptions, unused gym memberships, or credit card interest all quietly drain money. Because they're small, people ignore them. But small leaks sink big ships. Recognizing these hidden liabilities is the first step to stopping financial leaks. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" ask, "Will this make me richer or poorer?" That mindset shift alone changes everything. People with wealth think in terms of assets. They focus less on spending and more on building streams of income. Every purchase becomes an investment decision. Assets don't have to be big or complicated. A small vending machine, a dividend-paying stock, or even a side hustle can qualify. These create money flow without demanding constant effort. The more small assets you stack, the stronger your financial foundation grows. Ordinary people can do this daily. Once you start building assets, something magical happens. The income from one asset can be used to buy another. Over time, your money starts multiplying itself. This is how ordinary workers turn into millionaires quietly. It's not overnight, it's consistent growth. On the other hand, liabilities trap you in the cycle of working for money. The more you buy them, the more bills you face each month. That forces you to work harder just to keep up. You never get ahead because your money doesn't work for you. It's like running on a treadmill with no finish line. Marketers know how to make liabilities look like assets. They sell status, comfort, and pride. People fall for this trap and justify purchases as investments. But deep down, the math doesn't lie. If it drains cash, it's not an investment. It's a liability. Before buying anything, ask yourself 3 things. Will this put money in my pocket? Will it grow in value over time? Or will it drain my money without return? These questions force you to see clearly. They save you from costly mistakes. Most millionaires don't focus on fancy toys first. They spend years quietly stacking assets. By the time they buy luxury, it's paid for by income from their assets. That's why they stay rich, even after spending. Assets give them freedom while liabilities trap others in debt. It's surprising but true. Schools rarely explain this difference. You're taught to get a job, earn a salary, and buy nice things. But no one shows you the dangers of liabilities or the power of assets. That's why financial education becomes your personal responsibility. The good news is it's never too late to start. You can shift focus from liabilities to assets right now. Start small with something you can manage. Even a tiny income-producing asset creates momentum. Over time, the balance shifts in your favor. Think of wealth building as planting seeds. Each asset is a seed that grows over time. The more you plant, the bigger your forest becomes. Liabilities, however, are weeds. They choke growth. The goal is simple: more seeds, fewer weeds. The real difference between assets and liabilities is simple. Assets put money in your pocket while liabilities take money out. One makes you rich and the other keeps you broke. The secret is to collect more of the first and avoid too much of the second. That's how financial freedom is built. Now that you understand the truth about assets and liabilities, it's time to act. Look at your own life and ask which side dominates. Start small but stay consistent, and watch how it changes your future. And if you want to learn the exact types of assets beginners should start with, check out the next video right here. Your financial journey continues with one click.